Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Alex the Comic Order. Thank you so much for clicking play on this video. I've got a really great haul. There's a ton of Silver Age in here. There's a ton of Golden Age and a few really big high-grade grails at the end. Hopefully you guys are excited. Here we go. Right off the bat, you may notice that there's a few new items in the background here amongst these prints that I have. So that is a Doughboy M1917 or Brodie Doughboy helmet. It's modeled after the British, but this is definitely a United States used World War I, and it has a keystone emblem. That red little emblem right there is a keystone emblem. It's the Pennsylvania 28th Infantry Division, so that is used by this 28th Infantry Pennsylvania Division. What I've learned is that mark would not have been there when they were actually overseas. It would have been done afterwards for a parade or just memorabilia, just to signify that they were in that division. So it's an insignia that they may have put afterwards. So that is 28th Infantry. That's a keystone, that red keystone. So you can look it up and see what those look like. This is 5th Army, and so this is late World War II, more likely Korean. And then this one in the background is Korean or even later. So anyways, I've had the one in the background right behind me for quite a while. Got this one on Monday and this one today. So same collector has been liquidating a ton of stuff. This guy has boxes and boxes, floor to ceiling. I mean, it's like a hoarder house. There's an aisle where you can walk and then boxes everywhere. And there's Lionel trains, there's toys, tin toys, cars, posters. I've gotten a few propaganda posters from World War I and World War II from this guy. He has comic books. He has baseball cards. For some reason, he does not want to sell any of his baseball cards. He's got a ton of baseball cards. The only ones I'd be interested are like the ones from the 50s, but this guy has got everything, and he's the original owner of a lot of these collectibles, and then just a hoarder of everything else. So these are the comics that I bought from him. There may be, the two at the end will be from another collector that I know, but I'll go through these. I'm going to talk about maybe what I paid for them a little bit, because some of the prices are great. I didn't haggle with this guy at all. He names the price. He uses eBay. He's an older guy, but he is with it. He's with it on how to price stuff. He's got an eBay store, so he knows what's going on. So how I met this guy, I was searching on the internet in my local area for pulp magazines. And I actually was really surprised to find out there was a ton of pulps in my area. So I messaged the seller and I asked him if he would meet up in person using cash. And then while I was there buying the pulps, I actually asked him if he had some comic books. And I looked around and I knew he had everything under the sun. This guy is a collector at heart. He's just like me. He's interested in a lot of the same stuff. So we made a deal on the pulps, didn't negotiate at all, just paid his price. Then we get to the comic books. Once again, he sets the price. He's with it. He's on eBay. He asked me, I haven't looked this one up yet. Can you look it up on eBay? So we'll look it up. I'll show him the asking price, and then we'll go to sold prices. And some of the Golden Age really have a hard time finding any prices on that, so we'll go to other sites. We'll go to like Go Collect, or we'll go to like Comic Book Realm or something like that. Really tried to educate each other as we're doing these transactions. He sets the price and I pay his price. So you may be shocked at some of these prices, but he takes condition into consideration while he's evaluating or evaluating the price. And so this is it. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Okay, this first stack is all Silver Age, and then we've got Golden Age over here. About all the way until these last maybe 5 or 6 books, they were all his value books. And he has an antique shop as well. Or he has a booth in an antique shop where he sells these books. And he prices these things anywhere from $3 to $5. And then he's got some more that are kind of set aside that he prices a little bit more. And so the last 6 books, 5, 6 books are those higher value set aside books. These first ones are the value books. So this first one is Batman, and this is number 167. This one is in a little bit beat up condition, so he would consider this his value book. I haven't really looked this one up. I've seen it a lot before. It looks like Mayan, some sort of Mayan enemy here. Book length spy thriller, 0 Hour for Earth. Okay, so this is the precursor. You heard it here first. If 0 Hour from 1993 ever becomes a thing, you heard it here first. This is the spec book for 0 Hour. Anyways, this is Batman 167. Probably paid $5 because this was one of his value books. Maybe $3 to $5. Then I got a bunch of these Patsy Walker type books. Like I said, you guys know I watched all the Netflix Marvel stuff. Really enjoyed Patsy Walker in Jessica Jones. So we got Patsy Walker. This is an Atlas book. Patsy Walker number 71. Unfortunately for these Silver Age, I really didn't look up the age. So this is, you know, a 10-cent Atlas book. Could be late 50s or very early 60s, because it's still Atlas and 10-center. So Patsy Walker 71. Pretty cool book there. Really like this one, Patsy Walker number 85. Here's a Patsy and Hetty number 83. Once again, these were all kind of his value books. If there was an Archie in there, it would have probably been in his value collection. Patsy and Hetty, number 81. Patsy and Hetty, number 80. Patsy Walker, number 108. Really cool. Bowling with the blonde Tempest twins. She's not worried about their bowling skills. I really like this one. This is Patsy Walker in Miss America. So her first appearance was Miss America number 1. So this is Miss America number 92. These next three are still in the value tier, and they're in the value tier because of condition. So up here in this corner, you might be able to see a little bit of just, you know, torn up. So Doctor Strange, number 175. Once again, same kind of situation. Looks like a similar damage in the top, but not as bad on this one. You can see that. This is Doctor Strange, number 174. Doctor Strange 172, got the big old fold right here, going down this way. And you have Dormammu on the cover. Really cool green cover, and I'd probably call this one a 3.0. Last of his value tier, this was Tales to Astonish number 85. Really great. Okay, this is that overspray. This is a manufacturer defect, I believe. I don't believe that is any kind of aftermarket effect. You know, a dealer did that. I don't think so. This is like, looks like overspray. You've got that red line there at the top. From my knowledge, it looks like a manufacturer defect or a manufacturer overspray. Really bad, significant overspray. And so this is Tales to Astonish, number 85. Got Submariner and the Incredible Hulk, and I just think it's pretty cool. You got the fighter pilot there in the back, just shooting the crap out of the Hulk. These were the ones that we made sure to look up every single one, and they ended up being anywhere from $8 to $15 at the max. No. The second to last one was $30. This is X-Men number 31. Pretty solid mid-grade condition copy. You got Cobalt Man. I've always loved that Cobalt Man look. Looks a lot like Iron Man. Really, really cool. This is my favorite look for the X-Men. Love the original team. It's absolutely great. So X-Men number 31. And you got X-Men number 30. I think my copy is pretty beat up. So believe it or not, even with a pop staple, no, I think this one was pretty cheap actually because of like the staple damage. So this one was maybe $5. X-Men number 30, but this might be a little bit better, even with that pop staple, a little bit better condition than the book I got, because you just have some creases there, reader wear. So X-Men number 30. I was really happy to find this. This is one of my favorite Silver Age X-Men books. X-Men number 28, first appearance of Banshee, and J. Hood Creative had a whole host of people on his channel the other day. Comic Head 84, he had Biggie Shack, Metarog, Man Cave Comics, and he was putting up, and Coach Vic was on actually at his place, and he was putting up a wall in the background. This book came up. I definitely voted for this one. Love this book. I think it's an amazing looking cover. I don't think it made J. Hood Creative's wall, but big shout out to all those guys that were on that panel. Really fun 2-hour plus show. And another one, this is X-Men number 22. This was the last and lowest number of the X-Men books. Pretty solid mid-grade condition, maybe 4.0. This book was $30 because he really likes the Human Torch. And so we looked this one up. He priced it at $30. This is Strange Tales 111. This is the second appearance of Doctor Strange, and the first appearance of Asbestos Man, and the first appearance of Baron Mordo. So I was really happy to have this one, and happy to pay his $30 price tag on this one. This next one we looked up, and he priced it at $15. And so I'm happy to have my third copy of Fantastic Four, number 49. And what I'm hoping this one comes back at a 4.0 or 4.5. I've got 2 copies right now that are 3.5s each. And so I'm hoping that this one would come back as a 4.0 or 4.5. As you can see, it is attached firmly at both staples, and it's got a few tick marks going up the side. This one being the most drastic. Based on what they graded, you know, like my Green Lantern 76 and some of those other books, I would say that this one is, I could easily bet that this one would be a 4.0 or 4.5. Hopefully, if I get the same grader, it might be better. So, Fantastic Four. The top looks great. There's a little bit of chipping right there. This side looks really nice. I think the bottom looks good as well. So who knows? I'm hoping for a 4.0, 4.5, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a 5.0 or something like that. So really cool book. Happy to have this, and his price tag, I was happy to pay for it, was $15. And you guys remember, we looked up all these books on eBay. We looked up asking prices and sold prices, and then what he was willing to sell them for. So he would have put that in his shop for probably about $15 as well. So all right, and now we're going to move on to the Golden Age comics. So I'm really excited to show you guys some of these Golden Age books. And if you're not into Westerns, you may want to put this on ×2, because there's a lot of really great Westerns, a lot of really great covers, and he's got so many more. He's got like 3 or 4 times this amount of Westerns, really great covers left there, but these are the ones that I kind of just focused in on and picked out these ones as a starting point. And I've been going back, and we've been pricing out some more stuff, and hopefully maybe I'll take some more of those books home in the near future. There's actually one more, Silver Age. I think this is from 1964, 1965, 1966. Can't remember, not sure, but Collecto6 private messaged me a picture of this book. We've been talking a lot about World War II stuff, a lot about memorabilia, and he texted me a picture of this, and I was like, oh, that guy has this book. I think I got this for maybe 15 bucks. So it's World War II. It's a Classics Illustrated special issue. It's really awesome, with the machine gunner there shooting down, or at least aiming at that Luftwaffe pilot. Really, really great World War II cover. Absolutely beautiful. All right, I thought immediately of DS Comics when I saw this. It looks a lot like a Catman cover, and it looks like a lot like another couple covers, like a couple LB Cole covers, but this is Sparkler Comics number 37 from October of 1944, and this is a Bernie Hogarth cover. It's a really great Tarzan shark cover. It's got a little beat up area right here, and I think I may have paid $20, $25, maybe $30 for this one. Everything else on this book is great, except for that little chunk right there, and a little bit of a chipping or chunks right there off the cover. One right there and one right there. 20, 25, 30 bucks was a cool price to pay. This next one is from 1948. Don't know much about it. Didn't really look it up. Real Clue, Crime Stories. It's from 1948. One of the reasons why I like this was it was a Golden Age 10 center from 1948. Love this picture here where this guy thinks he's getting, this actor maybe, because there's lights. There's some studio lights there, and he thinks he's getting his picture taken, and he is about to get popped. So pretty cool book there, crime book, and really liked it. Didn't pay much for this one at all, maybe 8 to 10 bucks. All right, now on to the Westerns, and there's a whole stack of Western books over here, and they are fantastic. If you don't know anything about Western books, I will hopefully share some information with you guys, and just when you're in shops, do your due diligence. Don't pass up on Golden Age Westerns. At least look at them, appreciate the covers. One thing I've always been told about was stay away from photo cover books, but there's some really great photo cover books. I didn't really pick up any photo covers in this one, but there's Roy Rogers books are cool. There's some Tim Holt ones that I think have some significant photo covers associated with some heroes. And then I even saw a John Wayne photo cover that he has, and that book goes for a lot of money. And so that one may be one of the first photo covers that I buy, but I know Charlton 66, I know Lawrence King of Comicdom, I know Night Tiger, some of those guys really appreciate Westerns. And so I'm going to show you some really awesome, these are like the cream of the crop Westerns that this guy had, and hopefully you guys enjoy these. This first one is awesome, and these are all from, like I said, his original collection. He did some markings on them as well. Like you'll notice all of his books, most all of his books have some sort of like a category, some sort of way to catalog his books, but this one is called White Rider and Super Horse, and it's just a really cool L.B. Cole cover. This one's from 1950, and the series starts at number 4. So even though this is number 5, it is the second issue in this series. So there is L.B. Cole's signature right there. And just an awesome, awesome America's Top Western Stars, White Rider, and Super Horse. Really cool book. Absolutely love this thing. You'll notice a lot of these books may have a certain specific number, but I did some research and found out where the series started. And so this is the Gunhawk, and it's just a really cool cover. It's a Joe Meneely cover. So you'll see a lot of Joe Meneely, and this is a book that the series starts, this is number 14, and the series started at issue number 12. This is from April of 1951. And there's Joe Meneely's signature. Pretty sure he did a ton of Westerns, maybe even crossed over into some war books. And a lot of people like JD, DS, they probably know a lot more about Joe Meneely. Golden Age Guru, of course. The Gunhawk, number 14. So the issue starts, or the series starts at number 12. Both of these books, there's only one of each on the census. The highest grade of this book is a 5.0. So this could potentially be the highest graded book. We will see though with the markings and the spine stress there, if I ever do decide to get that graded. But the highest grade is a 5.0, 1 on the census. This one has 1 on the census, and the highest grade is an 8.0. This is definitely not an 8.0. You can see some stress marks on the spine, color breaking spine ticks. This is more like a 5.0 to 6.0. So pretty cool book. Only 1 on the census for both of those. This is Arizona Kid, number 4. There's only 1 on the census of this book as well. This is a Joe Meneely. It is an Atlas / Marvel book from September of 1951. So he's getting drowned there. There's Joe Meneely's signature. Shooting his hat off while he's getting drowned. So pretty cool. Arizona Kid, number 4. And for this Arizona Kid, there's 1 on the census, and it's a 5.5. So actually, this one may be near the top of the census as well. This one's Texas Kid, number 1. It is from January of 1951. It's a Joe Meneely cover as well. Joe Meneely did a lot of work for like Atlas. And this one is from 1951. Stan Lee is the editor on this one. There's 7 on the census, and the highest graded is an 8.0. This one's pretty dirty. You can see there's a lot of grime on the cover, so definitely could benefit from a cleaning and a pressing, but this one will never get, there's a lot of dirt right here too. This one will never get, it's a solid copy. It's not bad at all. It'll just never get near the top of the census. 7 on the census, and 8.0 is the highest. This one's a really great book, really nice condition. This is actually very high grade condition or high grade potential. There's 7 on the census, 8.0 is the highest. This is the Apache Kid. It's another Marvel Atlas. The Apache Kid number 1, and this is from 1950, December of 1950. So really great Apache Kid number 1. Love this book. This is a really awesome book. This is Best of the West, and it is number 3 from 1952. From Magazine Enterprises, so ME up there at the top. And there's 5 on the census. The highest graded on the census is actually a 9.2. This one's nowhere near that. It's a solid mid-grade. There's actually a hole right there. Maybe they're bullet holes. I don't know. But it's a Western, so you never know. This is Tim Holt, number 25. I made notes here. You'll notice I'm looking down a lot because before this, I had no idea what all these Westerns are. And so I'm just trying to provide the best information, and I have not memorized all this stuff. So Tim Holt, number 25. This is a Frank Bowl cover from September of 1951. Magazine Enterprises again. As you can see up there, there's his classification system markings. And this is the first appearance of Black Phantom, which is, I believe, this lady. So I really liked it for the good girl on the cover. There are 3 on the census, and 9.6 is the highest. So this one's nowhere near that. This is just a solid 5.0. First appearance of Black Phantom. Super significant. Now we get to some more recognizable. This is an Atlas book, Kid Colt Outlaw number 22. I think that is really cool. You see all the, I love how the Atlas is right there. You see all the Marvel Kid Colt Outlaws when it transitioned over to fully Marvel, and those are pretty cool. I think it ran, into the Bronze Age. Kid Colt Outlaw number 22, Saul Brodsky cover from September of 1952. There are 5 on the census, and the highest graded is an 8.0. And so this is just an awesome golden age Western book. Kid Colt Outlaw number 13. This is Pete Tomlinson, possibly Saul Brodsky cover from March 1951. And it's a Marvel Atlas. There's 6 on the census, and the highest grade on the census is an 8.5. Really sharp looking book, definitely mid-grade, 5.0 or something like that. Love this book. This is a really cool Atlas Marvel book. This is Black Rider number 10. So really cool, kind of superhero of the West. Black Rider rides again. And this is number 10, and it is from September of 1950, Joe Meneely cover. Let's see if there's any signatures on there. There's a fancy lady in a red dress. Joe Meneely cover, September 1950. Stan Lee was the editor, 5 on the census. The highest grade is an 8.5. Really cool looking book. Another pretty recognizable title. Here's Two Gun Kid, number 16. It's an Atlas book from September of 1954, Joe Meneely cover. And there are 3 on the census. The highest grade is an 8.0. And this one looks like a 6.0 to 7.0. So definitely not the highest. This is a very interesting Comic Media number 1. I know Comic Media has some really cool horror books, but this is Death Valley number 1. And this is a Ross Andru cover from 1953, October of 1953. There are 0 on the census. So if I get this graded, it will be the first and only. It'll also be the highest graded. So that is really neat. These guys up there are throwing a boulder down, or what appears to be they're throwing a boulder down at this guy. So Ross Andru cover. And this is Death Valley number 1 from 1953. Thought this one was pretty cool. This is from October of 1951. It's a Sid Shores cover. Wild Bill Pecos, The Westerner. So if you look this up, it's just The Westerner. And this is The Westerner number 40. It's a Sid Shores cover from October of 1951. Wanted Comics Group. There are 9 on the census. And I didn't write down what the highest grade was, but pretty dirty. Probably never get that graded. I saw this one and I knew it was a pretty cool cover and I had to have it. Anti-Tank Squad. This is War Comics number 44. It's a Carl Burgos cover from November of 1956. So this is technically a Silver Age. It's an Atlas book. So very, very early. So it's either very, very late Golden Atomic Age or very, very early Silver Age. There's 1 on the census, and it is a 2.0 signature series. So this would definitely be the highest on the census. Whether or not to get that graded or not, who knows. But it's kind of cool. There's so few of these books on the census that if I were to get them graded, they would have a chance at getting the highest grade. So Atlas War Comics number 44. These next ones are Avon books, which are really neat books. This first one was actually modeled or taken from a pulp magazine. This is Wild Bill Hickok. Like I said, really cool. Avon. Beautiful, striking, pulp-looking cover. Absolutely, you look at this thing and you think that is a pulp. And this is number 3, Wild Bill Hickok number 3, uncredited cover, so don't know who it is, but it's definitely a pulp style cover from March of 1950. Avon's the publisher, and there's 2 on the census. The highest grade is a 7.0, which this is definitely not a 7.0. Maybe a 3.0 to 4.0 at best. Pretty cool cover there. It looks like a pulp. This is an Everett Raymond Kinsler cover, Jesse James number 3, Avon Publications from May of 1951. Really cool Avon book. Avon Publications, there's 5 on the census. The highest graded is a 9.4, and this one looks to be, having some spine issues, a little bit of splitting on the side. So I would say that this thing is like a 3.0 at best, maybe. But really cool, presents really nicely. It's got a big old stain right there too. So definitely going to hurt it, maybe 3.0 at best. I love this cover when I saw it. Avon book, Kit Carson #2. Love that. I think it's maybe a Native American gypsy looking lady there. Pretty cool book. But Kit Carson #2, and it's an Everett Raymond Kinsler cover from August of 1951. There are 0 on the census, so this would be a cool one to get. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a spine split right under that staple. Unfortunately, that would really hurt it pretty bad. But anyways, really cool. Other than that, just needs a little cleaning, needs a little TLC, but cool cover, 0 on the census. Now this was the coolest of these ones, and then I'll get to 3 other ones that I got from him. The Dalton Boys, this is like the only one. Dalton Boys #1 was the only one in this series, so it's the one and only. Dalton Boys #1, Avon Publications. This is an Everett Raymond Kinsler cover from 1951. There are 6 on the census, and the highest grade is a 9.4. But just look at these. Looks like superheroes. It's awesome. I really like that costume of the Dalton Boys. Really cool looking cover. Absolutely had to have this one, and there are 6 on the census. Okay, I actually didn't look this one up, but this is Murder Incorporated, and there can't be too many on there, but this is a Fox feature publication, and I'm not 100% sure who the artist is, but I love these old Fox books. Love these, you know, they do Cowpuncher, they do Crime Women, they do a lot of stories with women. And Murder Incorporated, really cool. And there's that green outfit, so this lady is perceived to be potentially the bad guy, as she's holding a knife to that guy, or probably already stabbed him in the back. But this is got a little bit of something right there. Now it's not a tape pull. It's like something dropped on it and took you know, because there's still, and just like stained it. I don't know whether it was cleaning supplies or what, but it dripped on there and it made those marks. But Crime Never Pays, Murder Incorporated, Fox feature publication. Really cool book. I would assume 1948 or something like that. But I didn't look this one up, so really cool book. Okay, last 3 from the Westerns, and then I've got 2 other ones that are 2 other books that are really, really special. This is Ghost Rider #8. So you've got the Golden Age Ghost Rider, who was the Calico Kid in Tim Holt, in the Tim Holt books. I think his first appearance was Tim Holt 11, and the Calico Kid was like a sidekick or another story, secondary story. The Calico Kid got kind of possessed by this spirit of vengeance and became the original Ghost Rider. So this is Magazine Enterprises #8. Let me see. This is probably now. I think it's got a cool skull there on the cover. I think this is a Dick Ayers cover. If it's not, it may be a Frank Frazetta, because I know Frank Frazetta did some. They kind of like alternated, but this is #8. So I think it's a Dick Ayers cover. I'm pretty sure. And this is another really cool one. It's got a good girl on the cover. And this is Ghost Rider #7. Once again, I see the signature there. This is definitely a Dick Ayers cover. It's got some kind of serpent, dragon type beast. So really cool. Ghost Rider, the original Ghost Rider. And so that's pretty awesome there to have Ghost Rider #7. Pretty nice grade, little issues by the staple. But the one main book, and so for all 3 of these books I paid $400, but this was the one that I definitely wanted. It's Ghost Rider #1. It's the real deal. Ghost Rider #1. This is not the first appearance, but I think it retells the origin. Ghost Rider #1, Dick Ayers cover, Magazine Enterprises, and this one is from 1950. It's a really cool Dick Ayers cover in wonderful condition. So I think there is like maybe an 8.0, 9.0 on the census. Can't remember. But in my estimation, this one is probably a 7.0 or higher. 7.0 to 8.0. Just needs a pressing. There are some ticks there on the side that really do not break color, and it needs a little bit of a cleaning. But this is a clean Ghost Rider #1. He set the price at $400 for all 3 of these books, and I was happy to pay that price. Super happy to have this really great looking copy of this book too. Ghost Rider #1. Dick Ayers cover from 1950. So that's all the books that I got from him so far. There's a whole bunch of other ones that I'm going to go back for, and I did get some pulps from him, but this is from another seller. I got this from a really good buddy in Springfield, Illinois. He's a collector buddy. He's a young guy, and I think he's single, so he's got plenty of money to spend. So he bought some new books, and he wanted to offset those costs by selling some of these. The first one is Black Terror #8. Really good. It's 4.0 off-white pages. It's an Alex Schomburg cover, and you can see the Allied troops here, the American soldiers, shooting down these pilotless Nazi pilotless bombs. Really awesome. You got Black Terror and Kid Terror, and love it. I just love how he's kind of punching up at that pilotless bomb with the super strength. That's really cool. This is from November of 1944. 4.0. Just a nice solid copy of this book. A little bit of a spine roll. Solid copy. It's got some scratches there on the front. Happy to have this Alex Schomburg cover. Yeah, I love this Black Terror Nidor Publications from 1944. Love this stuff. It's just so fantastic. And the last book for this long haul, I really do appreciate you guys watching this and sticking with me through this haul. This is a fantastic book, and in this grade, it is just awesome. This is a Nidor Publications from winter of 1942 or into the next year, 1943. This is 7.0 copy of Black Terror #1. This is not an Alex Schomburg cover, but it's just a really beautiful copy. And what I think is the reason that this got a 7.0 and not higher, because if you look at this book, there is not much wrong with this thing. This thing should have probably got an 8.0 or higher. But what's wrong with it is it's got some heavy foxing on the back. Like, look at that. Almost soiling, but it's really indicative of that foxing. So I wonder if that foxing carries over, and it's that. But then you've got up and down the spine. That is foxing right there. You can see that. That is what's known as foxing. And I've heard they're really tough on books with foxing. I'm going to show you this side as well. Foxing right there. So that's really into the fibers of the paper. There's not much reversal that you can do on that, but just look at this book. 7.0. It looks like a beautiful, beautiful copy of Black Terror #1. Now, of course, being such a significant book, I went and read this book, and it is really, really bad. I think Goebbels and Himmler and maybe Hitler are in this book. I'm not sure if Hitler's in this book, but they come over to the States to spy on our troops, and they're wearing like civilian wear, but Black Terror saves the day. And they might have even gone to like some kind of like circus or something like that, but this pretty hokey, pretty bad writing. But needless to say, it's such a cool book. There's a really cool Japanese Zero right there, and he's hitting the propeller with an M1 Garand rifle. M1 Garand or M1 Grand rifle. And love it. I actually have a World War II M1 rifle that fully functional. I've got surplus ammo that we shoot, 30-06 that we shoot, and my dad also has one as well. So we go out to the range and shoot that M1, both of our M1 Grands, and just love them. It is certainly the Cadillac of rifles. So Black Terror #1, first issue, really, really awesome book. So happy to have 2 more super solid slabs in the collection, and hopefully soon I'll get some of these other books slabbed, especially the Ghost Rider. That's going to be a huge priority. I've got a couple that are maybe going to Paul, Midwest Comic Man, very soon. But thank you guys for watching. If you're brand new here, consider hitting that subscription button. Definitely hit that bell to be notified when there's future videos, and also hit that thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. And comment down below what your favorite book. Did you learn something about Westerns? Would you ever consider picking up a Western Golden Age book? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will talk to you all on the next one. See ya. Bye.